everybody.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to session 16 of Changeling Viva Lost Vegas. Before we get started, as always, a couple things. The Kickstarter campaign for They Came from the RPG anthology is well underway. You can click here if you want to find out more about it. Onyx Path Game Night is on the last Friday of the month. That is the 30th this month. Check out the Onyx Path Discord for more details. And Onyx Path Con is scheduled for June 16th through 18th. Anyone who might want to run a game or plan one, you can find the information here. That said, let's go ahead and get started, everyone. It has been 4 days since you were last active. So today's Monday, August 30th, 2021. What have you guys been doing over the last 4 days, and who wants to go first?
I'll go. So the first thing I did is, I need to find out information about the guy running around with my face and my name, so I decided to go get a forged copy of, my own ID. Get it in my name, and using that, take it into City Hall and get whatever information they have on me. Find my address, find whatever businesses I'm involved in. Turned out to be pretty successful. I got, my fetch is last known address is an extremely expensive hotel in El rental in the Waldorf Astoria, which is right between the Monaco and Recitativo casinos. So we're going to be checking that out soon. During last session, we got our hands on one of Oliver Oakenhart, i.e. Rattlebones' icons. And, here's the memory I was able to extract from it. Oliver Oakenhart is sitting in a dark bedroom, presumably his, sitting in front of a mirror. Linus is a good guy and all, but after all I've done, how could nobody else vote for me? How? He punches the glass, shattering into dozens of pieces. The reflections blush red-green and eyes downcast. Oliver begins to clean up the mess. After turning in the icon, Mimsach Kith's was able to be restored with the piece of him I got back. He looks a lot like he was when we met him, but he's still covered in weird, thick paint because we still haven't cleared out all that goblin debt. The third thing I did, I talked to the Viscount about that art installation that we negotiated with the Mirror Folk last week. The Viscount seems elated. He agreed to help me and Kit with getting it all installed, so that's sorted out. And last, I contacted Screamer, asking if he'd heard from Moggins, and apparently he had. The cats had delivered Moggins to him. He's apparently weak and very tired, and hanging out with them. So we're probably going to visit by there sometime. And that's all I got.
Alrighty, who's next? Good.
Okay. So on our first downtime, I decided to just look into the back end of the freehold. Moggins was running it along with the Grimalkins. I wanted to make sure that the Grimalkins are being paid, that everything's on the up and up, and that everything is moving smoothly, because I don't want to be the thing that puts a hitch in that. And he left behind very detailed notes regarding the Grimalkins. They get paid in their choice of either money, chips, or goods, and they mainly run themselves. And previously it was Moggins, mostly serving as a coordinator, a mediator, and a trainer. The next day I found a small calico kitten shivering in a gutter. So I picked him up and took him to the vet and made sure he got what he needed to be all in good health. And then the following day, I actually went to see Mario, our friend from the spring court. And I'm trying to open doors and do a little bit of social combat there to try and get him to vote for the Viscount as spring leader, spring monarch. He will be reluctant. He seems to think that the other spring nobles are just too limited in vision to understand that his vision of, everyone being blissed out all the time would be best for the court and the freehold. But he's got a real feeling about this next vote. And then the last day, I went to the Goblin Market to see if there was anything that would make me have something a little bit more like cat-like reflexes. And I came across a pretty cool token called Red Shoes. And they're just red shoes. They don't want to leave my feet. To the point where if someone else tries to help me take them off and we fail, and it takes a strength and athletics roll to get them off, I end up kicking them in the face for an unarmed attack just to get these things off. However, when they are activated, I get +2 to any rolls involving dexterity or presence. So, anyway, that's me.
Okay. So on the first day, I headed out to the Goblin Market to get some hired thugs to keep an eye on that area that we cleared out, and to jump anybody that comes in that's a member of the cult, so we can steal the more icons. Second day, did another auction, and this time around there's significantly more people. Day 3, I also spoke to the Viscount, and he basically said that Elliot had already talked to him about it, and he was very excited about it. And the last day, I spent staking out Cotton Entertainment, their big corporate headquarters, and it was a pretty boring day, but I did get a chance to take a look at. I didn't see a wheelchair-bound old man being brought inside by a large group of yes men and guards. So that should be
Hey, you get a picture of it?
Unfortunately, I did not.
Next time.
Next time. And that was pretty much it.
All right, here we go then. So let's go ahead and get started. Where are you guys right now, and what are you doing tonight?
I'm currently in court, listening for any rumors or anything that might be going on.
I'm also at court, just kind of sitting back and listening to some of the Autumn Court members discuss whatever esoteric thing that they're discussing.
I'm at the bar, keeping my ears open and seeing if anyone interesting comes up to me, waiting to spot the person I'm looking for, the Jack Catch.
Alrighty, so you guys are all just hanging around the freehold tonight?
It's where we're starting off, at least.
Yep.
I've got somebody I need to talk to while I'm here, and I figure...
Well, give me an appropriate social role for each of you.
You got it. Since I'm mixing drinks, expression to keep people focused on their alcohol instead of on me.
Makes sense.
How about wits and occult to keep track of the conversation?
Also makes sense. Kenzie?
Wits and socialize with my specialization in criminal, just to make friends. Or at least see what's going on in the seedy underbelly of our court.
I think that would be more of a manipulation plus socialize with criminal.
Works for me.
Ready.
3 successes.
3 successes as well. Oh, nice.
5 successes.
All right. So let's go down the line. It was simply trying to follow the conversation between Autumn Courtiers regarding whatever esoteric subject matter is tonight's subject of discussion. Okay. Not a problem. Bear with me just a moment.
Yep.
The Autumn Courtiers are discussing oniromancy. Specifically, what they're discussing is whether or not it would be theoretically possible for a changeling to use oniromancy to create a bauble, as these stolen tokens from dreams are, to anyone's knowledge, only something that can be made by the true Fae. But theoretically, with enough power, several of the Autumn Courtiers think that it may be possible. Several others think that no, this is in fact a power reserved only for the true Fae. And it has become quite the debate.
Okay.
All right, Elliot, what exactly were you looking for? Were you also simply looking for rumors like Kenzie, or what?
Listening in on the general vibe and flow of conversation, and also looking to catch the eye of the Jack Ketch and get them to come over to the bar.
All right, if that's the case, then we'll handle you last. Okay. That said, Kenzie was looking for rumors, and the big one, and they got an exceptional success. So there's a lot of conversation floating around tonight. The number one thing that you're hearing is about Moggins. No one seems to have any idea what happened to him, and no one seems to have seen him over the last few days. Of course, you know why that would be, but no one else has a clue yet.
I think we need to have a talk with the courts proper about you taking over that job. It's gonna come to a head sooner or later.
Yeah.
Yep.
The second subject of discussion has been regarding the Royal Flush Free Company. Since the peace treaty was made a couple of weeks ago, things have died down. And it does appear that the bookbinders have been significantly weakened, as no one has seen much of them since the last hunt. But the Royal Flush Free Company has been weakened substantially to the point that several people who had originally joined it have since went back to the Lost Vegas freehold. Currently, the Royal Flush Free Company is sitting at about a third of its previous membership. And in terms of good news, it appears construction has begun on repairing the Royal Flush Casino. So that is what you have been able to pick up from listening in on rumors and conversations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Eventually, Elliot is able to catch Kelly's eye as Kelly Crinoline heads over from the autumn court conversation. The stitches around her eyes drooping as though she has bags. Her cloth skin looks a little dirtier than normal tonight. She hops up on the bar stool and asks for a drink.
You look like you could use a pick-me-up. And I have just the thing. I'm gonna whip her up something special, probably involving a little bit of a coffee or an energy drink, whatever I read as the appropriate booster shot. We're gonna go crafts plus wits plus crafts to provide something to taste and effect.
Makes sense to me.
All right. We'll blame it on the alcohol. All right, 4 successes. Not perfect, but we're pretty good.
Kelly takes the drink gratefully and takes a big sip. Tell me about it. It's been a rough couple days.
Do tell. You know, as your bartender and hopefully your friend, I'm all ears.
Kelly sighs. Usually the people who talk to me about their fetches are some of the new guard. And those ones are generally pretty easy. Not always. Depends on how long someone was in Arcadia, how much time a fetch had to do what it does. But I've been looking into some fetches I request of a couple of the Autumn Nobles. And it's a whole other ballgame. It's been exhausting, frankly.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but have you by chance run across the name Cotton Entertainment while you were doing so?
She takes a sip of her drink and thinks a few minutes. I don't generally do a ton of digging. After all, my job is killing a fetch, not detailing every facet of its life. But recently, when I've been looking into the fetches of the nobles that I've been working with, I've seen that every single one of them has some sort of indirect connection to Cotton Entertainment.
You know, I think there's a conversation you and I need to have. But let me get my friend over here. I whistle in such a way that Kit can hear me over the crowd.
I excuse my I excuse myself from the conversation, which doesn't take much since I wasn't actually saying anything, and sit down next to her at the bar.
Kenzie also hears this if they want to join us.
Kelly
Kenzie stealthily wanders over to listen.
So, Cotton Entertainment, we know a little bit about someone pretty high up there. Honestly, you're the one who's gonna be able to tell this one better. Apparently, a lot of fetches are getting involved with cotton entertainment these days, Kit.
That's going to complicate things, isn't it?
Kelly shrugs and says, I can't say for certain. I don't personally know much about them beyond that they run the Emerald City Casino. And I wouldn't exactly say they're getting involved. Like, I'm not talking about, when I look into it, it's stuff like a fetch who's running a law firm that got bought up by Cotton Entertainment's parent company a week after the Noble got brought into Arcadia. Stuff like that. Indirect connections. I don't really have anything to go off of, to be perfectly honest.
Well,
But I just keep their names, but I just see their name cropping up over and over with every VIP's fetch.
Have I told you? You know my last name, correct?
Yeah, I presume that it was one that you chose because, the whole rabbit thing. I mean, my last name wasn't always Crinoline.
No, I haven't chosen a different name.
so the CEO of this company looks to be the great grandson. I forget the exact positioning. That you never had, literally.
The adopted child of an adopted child of an adopted child of my persona after I was taken.
Kelly takes a sip and says, so you're telling me your fetch founded Cotton Inc.?
Yep.
How old would you have been?
I was taken in the 1920s.
And how old were you at the time?
26 or so.
So you'd be 120, 130 something by now.
Yeah, roughly.
That is a hell of a long life, even for a fetch or something fey.
But not impossible, I'm gonna guess, is the next word.
No, it's definitely not impossible. We have older changelings in the freehold, although usually they've done something to stay alive that long.
I know at least one.
And, well, a fetch usually has their connection to the power of the weird mirror that of their changeling. So, no offense, Kit, but I don't feel a lot of magic power coming off of you. If what you're telling me is true, this fetch has been alive this long, it certainly isn't by the virtue of their own power.
But from the sounds of it, he doesn't need his own power. He seems to be involved in everyone else's. Some very powerful figures, I think you explicitly stated.
Agatha and the current crop of nobles have been asking me to look into a number of current and former nobles and various VIPs. She brings out a list. All of the current autumn nobles, a couple of the random nobles from each court currently, several former ones, including ones who are dead. And so far, I've looked into about 6 or 7 of them, and every single one of them has had some sort of indirect connection to Cotton Entertainment. The lawyer I was talking about, someone else who had been a security guard when they were taken, and their fetch just happened to become head of security a month later after the company was bought by Cotton's parent company. Someone else getting hired on by Cotton Entertainment as a low-level flunky and going through the ranks at a super high speed as soon as they got taken. I'm not at liberty to name names, you understand, but they're always there in the background, and I've been concerned.
So what I'm hearing is there's a fetch mafia.
Well, that I don't know about, she said, whistling through her teeth. Of the ones I've looked into, I've finished a good few off, and none of them seem to know each other.
So, you had said that a fetch's abilities mirror their changeling's counterpart.
Well, their magical abilities certainly do. Their physical abilities only mirror up until the date of their creation. After that, a fetch and their original can take a very different path through life.
Okay, I was just thinking that given the fact that the fetch has focused on gathering resources together and whatnot, and in the few months that I've been back, I've done very much the same.
Well, your fetch would, on some level, think like you.
He's got a piece of you in him, don't he? One of the icon things.
Yeah, fetch is animated by one of your icons, a piece of your soul. So whether or not they act like you, they reflect you in some way. It makes sense to me that your fetch would think similarly regarding gathering of resources, especially if you did not have any magical power to give them.
Okay.
No offense.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll have to set up a meeting with you so I can give you the information and bounce some ideas off of you on how to handle things with Cotton Entertainment.
I think we might also need to have a talk with the Monarch about what information we have and the ties back to these individuals. I'm sure they'd be interested to hear that.
Well, I was going to be sending out a report after I finished dealing with my list, but I am noticing an incredibly worrying trend. The good news is that when I've been doing a lot of my normal work in between this particular assignment, most of the newer fetches don't seem to have any sort of connection to Cotton Entertainment at all.
Okay. So, okay.
Going, if what you've been telling me has any merit, it seems like this fetch of yours is concentrating on fetches that he thinks could potentially belong to powerful changelings one way or another.
Well, he must have missed in one regard, because he's got mine.
She takes another sip. Oh, really now?
Yep.
So you're looking to take out your fetch?
He's got something I want. And I'd like to take it. All of it. Every last piece.
Very reasonable. After all, anything owned by a piece of yourself would, by necessity, also be yours.
But I'm gonna guess that Cotton Entertainment's gonna get a little less likely to support me if they know I'm no longer part of the big club. So, guess I'm gonna have to start there. Well, I've got some scoping out to do tonight, but this has given some terrifying perspective. Um, any advice for first time fetch hunter? Looks like you've got enough on your plate for me to be asking you for any additional help.
Well, I guess I have a couple of tips. Regardless of whatever approach you're taking, whether you're going to be going in friendly or going in guns blazing, it's usually best to figure out some way to do it in private and to have control of the exits. Even if you're going in for a friendly talk, you can expect there to be a freak out on the fetch's part. It may or may not know what it is, and if it doesn't, it's going to flip out when it sees you. If it does, who knows?
I admit, seeing myself on YouTube videos and TikToks was a little jarring, so I can understand.
And if you do fight one, you shouldn't ever drop your guard. Fetches aren't like us. They don't have access to a lot of the types of magic we use, but they have their own stuff, and it can be deceptive, deadly, and it targets changelings almost exclusively.
Well, at the very least, there isn't going to be a lot of crossfire. There's that, at least. Anyways, I'm sorry to have brought work to the bar for you. Just figured you'd want to know. Do you want another one of those, or is that going to do you for tonight?
Yeah, I'll take another. And one last tip. If you absolutely got to get up in its face, I'd recommend to bring some iron or some other way to keep it from running away.
Got it. With that, I turn back to the bar to mix another drink for Kelly. My eyes thinking over everything we've learned today. All right. So, guys, what do we want to do?
Jeez. Okay. I got a couple ideas.
Character, of course.
I got a couple ideas on how I want to deal with my fetch. It's gonna take a lot of off camera time, but I got some ideas.
Well, do we want to go talk to your other relative?
My daughter
this?
or my great granddaughter?
It can't hurt to have them know what Cotton Enterprises is doing, and maybe we could get access to their financial records.
She's a stakeholder.
There's no reason why they wouldn't be allowed to know what kind of projects they're working on. Could give us a lot of clues where some fetches might be if they're making weird choices. There's got to be an accountant in this freehold somewhere.
Yeah, I like this idea.
So why don't we go bother your granddaughter and see if we can't get them to give some books over and ask some questions about recent financial decisions. See if they've met me.
Yeah. I'll see if I can get a hold of Delilah and see if we can talk. Do you have any ideas, Lex?
Not really. This whole fetch thing is a little beyond both me and Kenzie. There's a lot of moving parts here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see if we can simplify some stuff and get some straightforward action we can do. But I guess the first thing we need to do is meet with our counterpart, and then we can figure out something to do tonight.
Yeah.
But any leads we can get on this whole situation means we're not going to get surprised by, I don't know, an entire fucking fetch mafia armed to the teeth and awaiting us. Criminy, I'm scared. Okay. Kit, make a phone call?
Yeah. I reach out to Delilah and see if she's available to talk, and where she wants to meet up.
All right, give me a chance die, please.
Fail.
You give Delilah a call. No one answers the phone, and after about 7 rings, it goes to voicemail. During the voicemail message, where the robot is simply telling you the caller you called is not available and to leave a message, you can hear the line breaking up, and what sounds like cackling and the howling of a wolf.
Hey there, you know what? I had no plans today. Let's go stop by and see some family.
Yeah, we need to go check on her.
Quick,
Yep, that sounds.
to the Kenzie Mobile.
So I'm going to draw on the oath that I had made with her, because I believe that lets me know where she is.
I believe you took the bonus from the oath, where one and the other can sense each other's presence.
Yes. I think it's here. Let me see if I can find the exact phrasing of it. It was a while ago. Oath of secrecy. Benefit. Changelings bound by a personal oath can always find each other. Period. End of sentence. If one is in the depths of the hedge, hiding in a new city, or even some say among the dead in the underworld, the other party can seek him out. This doesn't change the time required or trials endured to seek them out, but the oath allows unerring tracking.
Alrighty.
Well, luckily we've got some practice following some guy who knows the direction, steering, explaining to the other person who has to translate that to turns in the fucking real life grid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so give me a tracking roll at a +5, please.
Okay, so what's plus investigation with specialty and tracking?
Yes, please.
So 10, and that's 9, 14. Two successes.
Alrighty, bear with me just a second. I'm looking at Delilah's conditions. Bear with me a moment.
So, obviously we need to track down Delilah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're not in New York City. But,
Yeah, that's a whole different host of problems if that's the case.
I mean, they're 1,000 miles away.
but yeah, we'd We get over, figure out where they are, deal with any immediate danger, and, well, this seems to have upped the stakes of what's going on corporate-wise, so we're going to have to start dealing with Cotton Entertainment directly.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
It takes a deep sniff of the air and can already smell Delilah's scent coming from the hedge.
Oh, no.
Well, I guess then we're getting on the wrong vehicle then, aren't we? How big's your bird these days? You picked
Normal
up.
sized.
I really need to go pick up my own mount.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason that you couldn't drive the car in the hedge if you wanted to.
There'll be hell on the suspension. But up to you, Kit. Enzi, it is your car. Sorry, I've just got mental images of the fucking glass thorns popping a tire and us having to figure out how to AAA into the hedge. I'm sorry, none of us looks like we could change a tire. Kit wasn't there when they were invented.
I need you to take a left turn past the third garbage can on the right, directly into the wall. No, just trust me. You'll see us thereafter.
On our way out, I'll pass by was it Kelly, I believe her name was, the Jack Catch,
Mm-hmm.
and lean down and whisper in her ear that that Delilah has been taken, and we are going to go get her. And I keep moving.
All right.
Okay. So, what do you guys want to do?
I think we got to get to the hedge. Easiest place I know of is probably. Didn't Kenzie still have a room here?
I do indeed.
Probably going to be easiest from one of our personal hedge gates then.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, we're going to be navigating the hedge, doing some tracking. Let's see.
Alrighty. And yeah, I'm gonna.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, no. Fetches on a good day are a problem. A fetch that has had 100 years to set up shop is a problem.
A previous instance of this game, we had somebody who was away for about 5 to 10 years, and this was one of Lex's previous characters. Their fetch turned into a horrifying spider monster and tried to kill us all. So, that's our baseline. And this guy's had 100 years to prep, apparently quite aware of knowing what he is. So, yikes.
All right. So can I continue to do wits plus investigation to continue to do track Delilah?
This sort of thing with the hedge requires a chase type of roll. So first we need to roll to determine the edge.
I have it.
Oh yeah, you've got that in merit, don't you?
It's the I think it's the blessing from. Oh wait, no, I don't have it. I activate instantaneous velocity. Now I have it.
I knew it was one of your merits or contracts. So, that being said,
For those of you playing at home, Flicker Flash, his kith, is really fast. So fast that in a chase, if they activate their strength and pick up speed, they are always having the edge.
Yep.
Of course, the problem with being a bunny like this is you have a risk of taking the wrong turn at Albuquerque going that fast.
all right, so you want to continue rolling tracking then, Kit?
Yes.
All right, and considering the oath, you are going to still have that +5 bonus. The hedge's initiative would be such that it rolls after you. So
Okay.
go ahead and make your roll, and I'm going to say 10 successes here.
Okay, that's 3.
Great. First to 10 wins.
Ready?
5.
I'm gonna re-roll that. I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Were you allowed to assist?
If you wish.
I'm sorry.
What are you rolling exactly, Kit?
Okay, so I'm currently at 8 successes.
Okay, so
No, what pool?
What?
What pool are you rolling?
Wits plus investigation.
Well, I don't have the biggest pool for that, but I do have dice for that.
All right, I'll let you roll for his bonus dice, and you can go ahead and take
Is
another
this-
roll with those bonus dice.
Are
Okay.
these mundane, is this mundane teamwork assisting him right now?
It's teamwork, but I wouldn't call it mundane.
Figured I'd ask. 3 bonus dice.
So go ahead and roll 3 dice and just put that in your pool from here on out.
Okay. There it is.
Well, since I was had the roll already queued, you still would have won anyway, since the hedge would be at 6.
And
So,
we found a really cool mushroom.
so Kit's nose tells him exactly where he needs to go. The smell of Delilah and the smell of their oath guides him through the hedge.
And the flavors of fruit, wherever they grow.
Plenty of goblin fruit around here, yes, if you really did want to try something like that. Regardless, after about an hour of following the scent through the hedge, the motley stumbles upon a small hollow. This hollow's taken the form of a clearing in the hedge. The thorns are all around it in every area, on every side. But here, there's a handful of trees, a small pond, and what appears to be a recently put up pup tent. You notice a familiar figure sitting by the pond, fishing and whistling through her teeth.
Hello.
Well, can we... Familiar in what way?
I think it's Delilah.
Yes, it's very much Delilah.
Does she seem off or anything like that?
I think we found where they're hiding out. You did give them the ability to flee into the hedge. This appears to be their hideout.
Okay.
Hey there, Delilah.
Delilah jumps at the sound but turns around and sees Kit and the motley. Oh, Grandpa, she says, smiling. Her hair is disheveled and her eyes are wide and dilated. She looks a little shaky, but if anything, euphoric.
Can I?
You doing all right?
All right. I can't think of a time I've been doing better, Grandpa. I kept dreaming about this place since you took me here, but I found out how to get back in, she says, with her smiling as wide as she can.
How long have you been here?
About 3 days now.
Ah. You know what? You look like you could use a coffee.
And you've been,
Go on.
and you've been eating the what the land has been providing?
The fish and some berries I found over there in the thorn area.
I'm gonna go check those out.
Please.
Could you? Would you mind? Just curiosity's sake. I'm gonna go check and see if she's caught any of these fish. Give them a look over. Maybe do a wits plus occult roll. Figure out what they are.
Alrighty.
See if there's anything fishy about them. Anyways.
All right.
This is your family. You get to do the social bits. I'll help you if you need it.
Appreciate it.
Am I rolling investigation for the fruit?
If you wish. I would also recommend perhaps intelligence plus occult.
Or wits plus occult, maybe.
That would also work.
I'm pretty sure you're decent at occult, or am I misremembering?
Okay, so she's just high as can be right now, rather than taken. Okay. 3 days, huh? No. Did you tell anybody that you were going to be out of town or anything like that?
She scratches at her head and says, "Tell anyone? Why would I do that?"
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
I think we could use some coffee.
Yeah. Let's get her back to the hollow, and we'll get her sobered up.
I think we need to go
Alrighty.
back to the apartment.
First, let me go ahead and answer your questions about the rolls you made. I was doing some looking up while you did your talking. So, first off, Kinsey, you notice a bunch of little blue berries. Having been familiar with hedge survival before, you know these. They're a type of goblin fruit called sweet nothings. They taste very good, and they can make you feel sustained, but they don't actually give any nutrition. By the way, this goblin fruit comes from the supplement by Neil Litterland that we've been using quite frequently. 100 mostly harmless goblin fruits and oddments to find in the hedge. If you're interested, I'd recommend giving it a look. It was only $3 when I bought it.
And honestly, one of my favorite fan supplements we've ever used.
Yeah.
Elliot heads over to the bucket where catfish were kept. There is one swimming around in there. It has transparent skin and 3 eyes. And when Elliot looks over at it, it whispers very, very softly, "Get me out of here."
I lean down and smile. You know, I bet this would be great, properly prepared at home. I've got a great kitchen at home. I'll cook you up something real nice with this. And I gesture for Kit to get Delilah the fuck out of the hedge by whatever means necessary.
So I'll start leading her out the hedge.
We've got a pup tent door nearby. You could probably use that.
And Delilah taps her fingers together and says, "Are you sure we have to leave? This is such a great place."
Okay. So
You need some coffee. You're gonna have a better time with some coffee.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna get you back, and we're we are going to discuss a few things. And before you really start diving into this place, you need to know the risks.
So give me an opposed roll here. Presence plus persuasion or anything similar. She will be rolling composure plus persuasion.
Would you like some help with that?
Please.
Let it never be said. I am fairly sure this is mundane persuasion here, so I am gonna drop the hammer here, kids.
Yeah, you're not doing anything magical, so that makes it mundane persuasion.
4
Okay.
bonus dice.
Even if you are trying to persuade Alice to leave Wonderland.
One success.
And Delilah failed. Well, okay. I usually get Starbucks, and I haven't had any caffeine in days. But
And just to be sure, this is as we're leading out, as I'm leading her towards the pup tent. What was the date that you left on?
it's only been about 3 days. I left for this place around August 20th.
And Kenny, what was today's date?
August 30th.
Okay. So the first risk that they need to be aware of is time does run a bit different here. It's the 30th.
She whistles through her teeth. What? But the sun only went down. I counted them 3 times.
Mm-hmm. It's
And those berries you were eating don't have any nutrients in them.
don't worry. We're gonna get you taken care of.
Her eyes somewhat wild. She laughs and says, "They taste so good, but they don't have anything in them. We could make a ton making them into pies. They would be perfect for weight loss."
Okay. I like the idea.
Capitalism, everyone.
I like the idea. We'll discuss that.
Over coffee and donuts, apparently. Donuts. Get some donuts.
What we're gonna do, we're gonna get you back to Elliot's apartment, and while we're doing that, Elliot is gonna stop by my place and pick up a couple of the steaks that I have. They're gonna be really good for you, okay? And they're gonna be delicious.
If you're sure. I think I've got an idea for today's menu you're gonna love.
It's just the steaks are packed with nutrients. It's just what she needs.
I don't know how to say I mime at him They need human food.
Okay.
Anyways, after they're no longer looking at me, I turn down to the fish and say, "You know, this seems like a favor I'm doing to you, getting you out of this bucket that you got yourself into."
Go on, says the fish.
So, what do you got to offer me for me to turn this bucket back over into that pond for you rather than leaving you out here?
I'm a fish, says the fish. I don't have a fish job. I don't have aqua money. I don't know. What do you want?
Fair enough, it was worth checking. I tipped the thing over, laughing. Best of luck, bud.
Jackass, says the fish before it swims away.
Kenzie wanders over to Elliot. Were you attempting to extort a fish?
You've never heard the story about a guy getting asked by a talking fish? They offer him wishes in exchange for turning him back in? No. This is fairyland. I thought there was a chance I'd get a wish out of it, okay?
Well, you didn't ask him for a wish.
Figured I'd see what's on offer. Didn't seem the genie sort, and honestly, this feels awkward as all hell. Probably saw a couple of his friends go down over the last 10 days. So, mind helping me fold up this tent? I've never been good at those.
Oh yeah, I can make quick work of this. Dexterity plus larceny?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, 10 days in
Right.
a hedge. Christ.
Right, Kinsey has the tent down lickety split.
It's good you got 3 successes on it. There was no way less than that was going to get a tent to fold back up, especially one of the pop ones. So, I'm going to stop by the grocery store and pick up some very mundane fish to cook today, because I think they need some people food, and then meet back up at the condo.
The group returns through a hedge gate to the hotel room and split up for the purposes of grocery procurement and heiress securement, respectively. Elliot, give me a chance roll, please.
Absolutely. That's a 4.
Thank you.
I'm gonna text the Jack Catch. I can never remember her name. Kelly.
Kelly Crinoline.
Yeah, Kelly. I'm gonna text Kelly and let her know that it was a false alarm.
Alrighty. So Elliot stops by the grocery store, gathers what he needs, and heads back home. When Elliot arrives, the group is sitting around the apartment. Jeremy and his niece have come out to see what the commotion is. Delilah's state of mind doesn't seem to have improved. She has instead locked eyes on the mirror and is smiling at it hugely. Whenever anyone tries to talk to her, she simply says that she can hear it calling her.
Okay. Hey, I know I've been asking a lot of favors lately. I hope the money's been making that up. Would you mind pulling that into your room for the next hour or so? I need to talk to this one and, well, you know where they've spent the last couple of days. The place behind the walls. You know. This is why you don't stay there for 2 weeks.
Jeremy's face goes white and he takes the mirror, grabbing his niece by the arm and dragging her back to her room.
Sorry about that. In this economy, you gotta have roommates.
All right. Delilah, are you with us?
She blinks a couple times and shifts her eyes from the mirror over to Kit. So after we eat, can we go back, Grandpa?
All right. So
Eventually.
So, can I ask a question out of character for everyone, real quick?
Yeah.
I have a fairly straightforward solution to this, if you guys want it.
Okay.
You guys know I've got Mantle 5 for spring, right?
Okay.
Let me pull up the exact wording. But there's something here to help with this, and I believe that it might be reasonably effective. God damn it. Where is that? Ah, here it is. Once per chapter, you may convert a single clarity condition into a different beneficial condition of your choice. When you do, regain 1 clarity. Your character may use this to convert an ally's clarity condition instead. This looks like a clarity condition. I don't know about you guys.
I don't believe Stay Touched have those. Give me a moment.
Well, if it's not a clarity condition, it won't help and it won't do anything. So that's probably not it then.
Then give me a second just to check. This absolutely wouldn't count as one, but I want to just make certain. You are correct that a condition is in effect here.
All right.
Sorry, I'm trying to do what I can to figure out a solution here. Just figured...
Yeah.
God, I'm not good at making people make good decisions. That is not my character. What am I supposed to be? Reasonable? Anyways, we need to get food in this person before they starve to death.
Yeah.
Human beings can manage 3 weeks without food, and that's on a strict technicality. And
I just checked. They touched have integrity, not clarity, so they can't have a clarity condition.
Okay.
It was worth a shot. Okay, so well,
do you have any sort of ability to divine what condition someone is suffering from? Does anybody?
Give me
actually.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nope, sorry, I misread something. My apologies.
I have common sense. Would that work?
Oh, okay. Does this person? No. No. I mean, I'm really good at investigation.
Well, I think we're just gonna have to figure it out the old-fashioned way by throwing dice at it. Anybody got a good investigate or occult?
Both.
Well, Kenzie! I'm gonna cook some food so this one doesn't starve in hopes of contributing to this in some way. I don't know what to do with myself.
Gibbs, how many do you have for an occult roll?
Are we doing? Would this be a wits and occult or something else, Kenny?
Wits makes sense to me. Intelligence. Well, actually, intelligence is probably what it is. More likely,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, since it's intelligence, it's going to be 4.
All right, make your rolls.
Sorry, was that?
And what's your investigation?
With investigation, that would put me up to 5.
Okay, let's do that one. Assist.
I would recommend for trying to figure out what conditions someone is under, empathy, occult, etc. Not really investigation.
I have 0 empathy. A thing you guys all knew.
I got animal kin. That's the only social skill I have.
I have
So,
all socials except expression.
so you've got occult though. All of us have some occult. We could just try and bash up somebody's roll with that.
Yeah. So intelligence plus occult, and I believe Lex or Kinsey is going to have the highest roll on that one. Yeah.
So you guys want to roll to assist in that case?
Yeah. Hey, Kens, you mind trying to talk to a person who's babbling? You've probably had to
Sure.
do that more than once, talking someone high down.
Yeah, go for it.
All right,
Do I
roll to assist trip set.
And you
do I get any bonuses due to like my link with them or anything like that?
not in this case. You guys are rolling occult instead of empathy, right?
Yes. None of us are good at empathy. I don't think.
Okay. So I got 3 successes for so
And so that's gonna be 6 with my willpower because I'm trying to contribute something. I managed a success.
The motley attempts to talk Delilah down and at the same time brainstorm together some occult knowledge. Between tidbits found here and there, a idea of what might be happening does arise. Everyone understands that Delilah is under a type of entity now known as the Fey Touch. She has some of fairy nature, but she definitely is not yet a changeling. That would require being fully taken. But Fey Touched have their own crosses to bear. In particular, they have a very delicate mental state, and the hedge is constantly calling to them. This manifests in hedge addiction as a persistent condition, as well as the madness condition whenever they enter the hedge.
Oh.
okay. So she's not able to go back to the hedge.
They can go into the hedge, they just have to deal with these conditions every time they do.
All right.
She's not trying to eat you or kill herself.
At least there's that.
She's high.
So, clarity, if I remember correctly, one of the things you can do to restore clarity is spend time with your touchstone. And they have integrity like we have clarity. And one of the things that we got is you both have a mutual touchstone in the form of each other now.
Yes.
So I need you two to eat breakfast together while we try and figure out another solution and see if that works. Because I believe one of the ways of resolving this is regaining some integrity.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to walk over to Delilah and basically just hug her and like hold her head into my chest and just whisper to her, come back to me.
After several long minutes, the euphoria appears to fade somewhat. While still shaking, Delilah does state that she is hungry and asks when the food will be done.
Well, I'm not doing my best today, but that's still a success. So we managed to get some very nice fish made. a lovely cut, a bit of salmon, lox, and a bagel. Good way to start your day. Nice and filling. I absolutely insist they eat.
After taking a few bites, Delilah appears to notice how hungry she is and wolfs down the entire bagel, and also drains her coffee cup. She does appear more aware. The dilation in her eyes is going down. She starts taking a couple deep breaths and says, "So, why didn't you want me to stay in that other place?"
Because you would have starved to death.
"That's a good reason," she says, looking down at her coffee cup.
Also, you were eating people.
That's a matter for debate. Okay. So, if you are going to spend time over there, I need to teach you what that place is, and how to mitigate your risks. I'm not opposed to you going over there,
But it's
And I won't-
dangerous.
but it's dangerous.
"What's so bad about it?" she says, looking concerned.
The thorns themselves tear your soul into pieces, for starts.
And, you know how you were having those fish there? There's predators who eat people there.
The berries you are eating make you feel full, but they don't actually give you what you need to actually live. You could get taken by the same kind of things that took us. You could turn into a hobgoblin and lose any semblance of humanity you have. You could wander into the dream roads. You could somehow manage to end up in the wishing roads and be lost forever.
And also, there's the whole slavery thing happening out there, which I've just been working off the debt somebody managed to get just trying to find a warm meal for the night out in Goblin Country.
You could decide what after say a week, and you decide you want to come back, and it might have been 10 years.
After all, this boy here thought he'd only been gone a year or two.
Delilah looks down at her phone and says, "You're right. It is the 30th. I could swear I'd only been gone 3 days."
In the hedge, yeah. You were only gone for 3 days.
This fairy crap is tough to get my head around.
Yeah, we only have a lead on you because somebody who knew how the stuff worked made us get used to it.
I don't recommend going that route.
It's left a hell of a mess. Anybody been looking for you?
"I don't know," she says, like she's rubbing her temples at this point. "So you told me to lay low. So first I went to a hotel, and everywhere I looked, there was just something. I could swear I heard singing from my mirror. I know I saw those glass thorns on the other side of a wall once. I can swear some little goblin thing was waving to me from a doorway. And when I went out to eat and I went to the bathroom, I opened the stall, and there it was. And I wanted to go in so bad, and there it was. So I just ran in. I went back out really quick after a few minutes before the door closed so I could grab a tent because I thought it sounded like a great place to lie low, even better than the hotel. And then I went back to the same restaurant, and the door was still open. So, and I went. I didn't even question whether it was a good idea.
Yeah. It's, what are the costs of knowing how to play the game? Unfortunately.
All right. So the immediate crisis is past. Okay. For the time being, we have a lot to talk about. Okay, both regarding that area and also things on this side, yeah. So I don't want you to be scared of being over there. It is an amazing place. But at the same time, like I said, if you don't know the risks of staying over there or being over there, it's a good way to quite literally lose your soul.
This sounds an awful lot like the talk Dad gave me when I was 12.
And which talk was that?
The talk, birds and the bees.
Ah.
That too, but that's another night, young lady. I'm not interested in going into that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of birds in the hedge. You don't.
Yeah.
Some of them will eat you.
So let's bring things back to a slightly more grounded discussion, yeah?
You still hungry, Delilah?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay.
Some more food is produced. Elliot, lost in this conversation, seems to have taken solace in keeping the kitchen moving.
So I've been doing some investigation into Cotton Entertainment. There is a bit of information that's come to light that I would like your assistance on possibly clarifying.
Delilah looks very much alert now, and bringing this up seems to bring her back to reality. Okay, so what's going on?
So without going into too much detail,
I work for Cotton Entertainment, apparently, or rather, not me. You've got Elliot McCoy on the payroll.
Basically, what has come to light is Cotton Entertainment has been employing people of interest within our people that are of interest to our organization, let's say. And I was hoping that since you are a stakeholder, you might have some financial documents on spending and stuff like that that might elucidate what these individuals have been doing.
Additionally, we might be able to track down some more names if we can find the pattern of weird purchases. After all, I don't think you guys are in the habits of picking up streamers out there making TikToks about mixing drinks.
She frowns for a moment. I can't say that I really understand exactly what you're talking about, but when it comes to financial documents, yes, I do have them. I make it a point to make sure that my accountant keeps a copy of every quarterly report that was sent from the company.
Okay. How long ago was the last one?
About 3 months.
Yeah, that's a good time frame.
So, I think we need to open the doors up a little here. Keeping this person in the dark seems to have caused more problems than it solved.
You're right.
So, let's talk about your relative. Do you know a very old man who's working for Cotton Entertainment? Extremely old man?
Cousin Rupert, he's the CEO and most of the owner. I'm pretty sure he killed my grandma and my mom.
Yep. So, you know how we got here, right? We got taken by the scary people beyond that doorway you went through.
Grandpa gave me a crash course in why he's a rabbit.
So, when that happens, one of the things they do is make it so you don't notice them missing. This is, your grandma wrote in the journal about how Grandpa had been taken, but Grandpa still was there afterwards, you know? That thing is called a fetch. And most of us have them. I've found mine. We've not found one for Kenzie, but maybe we're just not looking in the right places. And we think Cousin Rupert is, well, his fetch. The one who replaced him. Or has something to do with him. We're not sure precisely.
But Kit Cotton, he died a long time ago. Wouldn't that mean the thing that replaced you is dead?
Could be. Could very well be. But I'm also a sapient glass filled with alcohol. So maybe he didn't do that. We don't know.
And even so, the people of interest that I mentioned before, those are other fetches. And if fetches are being hired or brought on to Cotton Entertainment in this consistent of level, it leads credence to the theory that the person running the operation is a fetch at the very least,
or at least has been touched by the fetch in some way, producing some effect. I don't know what's going on with Rupert. I intend to find out.
Yeah.
But the best thing we can do is get our hands on those records and figure out key individuals, maybe find out all the names we need to start paying attention to.
My mom did think that Cousin Rupert was something supernatural, I believe.
Well,
when I was doing the stakeout, did I get any kind of ping or anything when I saw him?
No.
Well, I guess that's what we need your help with, Delilah. We need every bit of financial records, especially with any new acquisitions Cotton Entertainment's making. The weirder, the more important it is. Like, one example we got was they bought out a law firm and a security company. Probably not something I would immediately assume Cotton Entertainment needed.
She frowns and says, well, Cotton Entertainment is just one arm of Cotton International. we've started out as a ranch, and over the century that Cotton International's been around, we've branched out into a lot of things: casinos, movie making,
Gotcha.
uh, manufacturing, automotive. So it wouldn't look that weird.
Well, guess I'm gonna need to find one hell of an accountant. We'll have to make some phone calls, but you
So
should probably check your voicemail. Get home, get somewhere careful. I'm gonna see if we can't have a friend stop by and chill out with you.
And yeah, I'm gonna see if I can talk to one of my friends within the freehold, and see if they can get you a primer and a more not a primer, get you up to speed on survival in the hedge.
All right. Well, I think that leaves just one last bit today. I think we need to make some phone calls and then go track me down.
All right.
So, quick order of operations. I'm going to make a phone call over to our friends at Summer and see if we can get one of the various knights to... Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.
Swing on by and keep an eye on Delilah for the next day or so while we sort out this last lingering issue. Make sure they don't wander off into a nearby mirror or whatever. Unless you've got any friends in Autumn you think would be more appropriate.
Well, I was thinking that wow, I'm doing horrible at names tonight. The archaeologist might be a decent one to talk to her about survival in the hedge.
That would be a useful conversation.
Minerva?
I'm sure
Minerva,
could keep them entertained, and Minerva owes us a favor. And I'm sure they wouldn't mind hearing a little bit about what we've learned. So why don't you make that phone call, Kit, and I guess I'm gonna go get everybody ready to go hunt down my fetch. See if we can find a way into his hotel room.
Yeah, I think for that part, I think Kinsey's going to be very helpful.
Hi, Kenzie.
Hi.
Want to help us with a little breaking and entering?
Yes, I would. Can I pitch dexterity plus larceny?
I'm pretty sure we can do that, but we're gonna have to get to the Waldorf Astoria first.
All right, so I'm gonna make some phone calls on the way to the hotel.
Alrighty. Who will you be calling? Minerva or anyone else?
So I think Minerva would be a good one for, like I said, the teaching her about the dangers of the hedge and how to survive there, how to navigate, and the whole thing. For making sure she doesn't just immediately bolt back there.
We have somebody with a summer. Gosh, what's the word? Summer court.
Goodwill.
Summer court
Goodwill.
Could you, Kenzie? Would you mind asking if we could borrow a knight for the night?
Sure.
Just, I figure a big muscly dude's gonna have an easier time keeping the old biddy from running off into a fucking mirror or something. I'm not interested in dealing with this twice in a row. At least till she's settled back in at home.
Yeah.
Also, there's the possibility that Rupert's going to try and kill her. You know, that whole thing.
There is that.
The whole reason why they were lying low.
So yeah, I will inform. I will ask for a Summer Court Knight's assistance.
Oh, those
Oh.
nights.
All right, so the arrangements are made. Minerva is nowhere near as hard to convince as you would think she would be, especially after you ask her to give someone a lecture. Meanwhile, Kinsey has no problems pulling some strings with the Summer Knights and getting them to dispatch one of their members over to keep an eye on a Fey-touched young woman. Isn't exactly difficult either.
Well, that's good. We're in a good place.
All right.
So, I've got I know his hotel room. I know where he's staying. The only thing I need to do is not run into him directly. And I look like him. So, should I just try and get another hotel key?
Yeah.
Or do you guys want to try breaking in the more fun way?
I mean, it doesn't hurt to do either.
I'm gonna go up to the front desk looking like myself and try and get a hotel key with my very functional ID.
All right.
A perfectly normal and mundane thing to do.
All right, so let's go to the Waldorf Astoria. Elliot, I want you to roll me a perception roll, please.
Oh, absolutely. Boy, this is going to be fun. Wits plus composure, right?
Yes.
Sorry, I normally leave this to one of our more talented brethren. 2.
So, the Motley arrives at the Waldorf Astoria. It's around midnight at this time. The hotel is lit up like a Christmas tree, a huge tower of glass and light and dreams, and quite possibly the most expensive resort you've ever seen. Heading inside the lobby and walking across the carpet, that carpet is worth more than your entire life, and you know it just by the feel of it on your ankles. The lady behind the desk is very surprised to see Elliot, but when he asks for a hotel room key, she asks for his ID. Elliot notices that she gives it an extremely thorough looking over, but doesn't seem to notice anything wrong with it. She gives him a hotel key, almost reluctantly, and says, "Don't lose it this time, Mr. McCoy. This is the 3rd time this month." And as Elliot walks away, he could swear from the corner of his eye that he saw her speak into her shirt cuff.
Hey guys, we're fucking rumbled. We're so fucking rumbled.
That was fast.
I get the feeling that I am going to complicate matters substantially if he sees me, so I'm going to pass this off to my compatriot and see how they can handle getting access to his room. Kenzie, you have a key card and a dream and a polite request to figure out as much as you can about the person who owns this hotel room.
Excellent. So I take the key card. Are you coming with me, Kit?
Um, I'm trying to figure out a way that I can do this uh, with keeping my armaments and not being like super suspicious.
Why don't you put your shotgun in your duffel bag and just go on up?
I have a way.
How's that?
You've got a firing pin, right?
Yes.
Cool, I have a cog fruit. Let's replace it.
The cog fruit replaces any one internal mechanical part of a mechanical device. This one makes it work again. Two makes it so mundane people can't notice the weapon.
Oh, okay.
So,
Hog leaf, but yes.
Okay.
but yeah, would you mind finding some internal part of your shotgun you can remove and replace with a cog leaf?
Okay, I do so.
Let's see. There is a roll for field stripping a firearm. Give me a moment and I'll look it up.
I think that's in was it the Hurt Locker book?
Yes.
Luckily, I've got that open.
I do not. I should though.
I have so many windows open in this tab, like you wouldn't
Give me
believe.
an intelligence plus firearms roll, please.
Oh, that's not a good one. Okay.
I would
Just
assume you have a
because
pretty
playing at
good
home.
firearm skill.
I do have a good firearms. I don't have a very good intelligence.
None of us do. This is a very dumb party. Does anyone have an intelligence above 1 in this group?
I have 2.
Congratulations, Kenzie. You are the smartest one here.
One success.
All right. Kit heads to the bathroom to field strip his shotgun and replace the firing pin with a cog leaf. He is able to successfully do so. Please remove that cog leaf from your inventory and note that down on your character sheet, please.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go sit out in the car because the only thing I can do here is complicate matters. I'm staring at my phone waiting for the first vibration of anything triggering me to go and move. But I figure I'm just gonna complicate matters by my presence. Because he's gonna know me if he sees me.
Yeah. There's her. Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. I believe I might be able to just change your face.
Really?
You can do that?
I believe so. I'm trying to pull it up right now. Riddlekiss as a Darkling seeming bonus.
You have Riddlekiss? Let me read real quick and see if that's something you can do to other people and not just yourself.
Alright, so...
The Darkling's target can truly become the Kiss she impersonates. She loses the mechanical benefits of her own Kiss and receives those of the false Kiss.
Yeah, that affects how fairies will see me, but not how people will see me.
Yeah, that would only affect the mean. We would need something to affect the mask.
And unfortunately, that's not getting affected today.
I thought that Fetches saw the mean.
I think he would still probably recognize me, but up to you, Kenny.
Give me a moment.
So I thought... Anyways, so while he's looking that one over, what I want you guys to do is go into that room. If he's there, great, we know where he is. We know where he is, I can start watching him find out something to do. See how he responds to seeing two fairies try and enter his room.
Yeah, all right. I went ahead and looked into it. Statues see a changeling's mien as well as their mask in the same way that other changelings do.
So, yeah. Way to go,
Okay.
2 brain cells.
Let's see. Yeah. You know, I would say, though, that fair enough, this could I would say that this can change someone's looks enough to hide them from another fey creature. So yeah, that makes sense to me.
Would you be willing to pair it with a mundane disguise check?
Yeah, that would work just fine.
All right.
That would hide your face on both levels.
All right. Would expression be good for putting on some makeup?
You probably want to do this in the order of Riddlekith first, then the disguise check.
Okay. Well, I guess I get to play along after all. Would you mind setting me up?
Absolutely. It's a cost of 1 glamour, and the dice pool, it is a contested action. Manipulation plus larceny plus weird versus composure plus weird.
It doesn't have to be contested, only if someone doesn't want it to happen.
I refuse.
Perfect.
Roll at me.
I'm assuming you mean you refuse to resist.
Yeah.
Okay, and also choose yourself a kith.
Oh. I've got the perfect one. Mirror skin.
All right, that is a success, and as a darkling, that means that for the scene, you lose the mechanical benefits of your own kith and gain those of the false one.
Excellent. Okay. I'm gonna use Mercurial Visage, my shiny new kith blessing. Wits plus subterfuge plus weird. We're putting disguises on disguise, people. We're going all the way. All right.
Am I not turtly enough for the turtle club?
All right.
Just a tip, though, you're going to want to explicitly remember to undo this before the scene ends, or else this will be what your mask looks like permanently.
You got it. I will remember to do that. I will absolutely remember to do that. So I don't have to do this again.
All right. Kinsey does some work on Elliot in order to polish up his glass, and with some glamour and the right words, Elliot can feel his nature change as his kith is shed and a new one put on. Giving the mirror skin kith blessing a try, Elliot is able to assemble a new mask for himself out of a number of memories, and definitely looks very much different, at least to the naked eye.
All right. I pass around bottles, and we head on up. See if anybody's inside the room.
All right. Everyone make a perception check.
Hey, I think I'm gonna wits plus composure plus how much was the bonus for clarity?
2.
Yeah.
Which, if I thought 2 would make a difference, I'd roll those in, but I forgot about it. Oh well.
No,
Kenzie, knocking it out of the park, as always.
Six.
All right. As the motley heads for the stairs, a bellboy with a room service tray gets in. Elliot vaguely takes a look at his face and vaguely thinks to himself that this guy looks an awful lot like this person who was behind him in the checkout at the supermarket.
I'm going to use kenning.
Okay, roll.
All right.
And we'll cover everyone else's perception when that's done.
4 successes.
The only magic you can feel would be the fetch nearby.
Oh.
This person doesn't seem to have any magic attached.
Oh. So the person in the elevator is non-magical.
Yes, the only magic you can feel.
My fetch through the wall.
Yes.
Okay.
Regarding. Kenzie also notices a handful of people converging on the other elevators as you guys ride up. This elevator is one of those fancy ones made of glass. Kit, meanwhile, notices 2 black vans parking near the door and a handful of men in suits carrying briefcases heading into the lobby.
We've been rumbled.
So,
is that something that you want to say in character?
No.
So, we're in a glass elevator. Are we going to beat the other elevator up?
Absolutely. The elevators aren't faster, no.
I didn't know if, say, the guy who got in here was slowing us down by pressing a bunch of numbers or whatever.
No, but the bellboy does seem to be watching you much more intently than you would expect a bored bellboy delivering room service to be.
Smells good. Where are you taking that one?
Penthouse, he says.
And where are we going? Which floor is Elliot's?
We're on the penthouse, aren't we?
No, 10th floor.
All right. Well, I'll wait until we get to the 10th floor.
You get to the 10th floor and step out of the elevator. The doors close behind you, and you're certain you see the bellboy just before the doors close, speaking into his sleeve.
We've been rumbled.
All right. Let's go down. Let's go down to the 9th floor.
So, we got 2 options at this point. We can bail out of here entirely, or we can see what they're trying to prevent us from going and checking out. What we doing? Because I'm here.
I can cloak of darkness and slip under the door.
Well, we can just open the door. I have a key. And I'm in there.
I don't think we should use that key.
Fair enough.
She was the woman at the front counter was onto you from the get-go.
Absolutely.
I don't think we should use that key.
So did you guys want to continue on the 10th floor or go to the 9th floor? I remember one of you mentioned that.
Are we going to the room or are we leaving? That is the real question.
Are there balconies here, Kenny?
This is a pretty ritzy hotel. I imagine there must be one.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yes.
Are there any rooms without people in them? Do you see? Or do we know?
Give me an investigation roll. Also, one of you others, give me a chance die. Doesn't matter which one of you who does it.
I did the last one.
Well
All
powered.
right. All right. I guess it's my turn then.
Gotta distribute the blame. It's very important. See? Important to distribute the blame.
All right. Kinsey looks around and notices that based on like the depressions in the carpet from the door opening, the various signs hanging out, things like that, that there are a couple of nearby rooms on the 10th floor that are unoccupied.
What you got cooking?
So, what do we do, Kenzie? I'm not used to doing crime.
This is your
I think
wheelhouse.
we get into an empty room, crawl out onto the balcony, and then just hop across to the others.
At the very least, wait in there to see what happens. There's clearly something about to happen.
Yep.
So let's get into the empty room and see what goes on.
Yeah.
Kenzie.
I'd like to dexterity plus larceny my way into a room.
All right, make the roll, please. Key cards are nice, but when they're attached to a mechanical lock, they're just as susceptible to lock picking techniques as a mechanical tumbler. Kinsey is able to get into one of the nearby rooms fairly easily. This room is 1031. And the room that the key you had for was 1033.
So that puts us right next door. I've been to a lot of hotel rooms. There is going to be somewhere in this room 2 glasses set up on a plate that you're supposed to be able to use for water. I'm going to go over to the wall adjoining with the appropriate room that Elliot's in. I'm going to stick my ear up again. I'm going to grab the guy who's better at perception than me, stick his ear up against it, and wait until we hear something happening while I stand by the door listening for activity in the hallway.
All right. This hotel room, while it is dark and unoccupied, is clearly larger and much more expensive than any hotel room you've ever been in. It includes its own foyer, 2 separate bedrooms, and a bathroom with a jacuzzi.
Wish we could stay the night. This looks nice.
So the 2 of you who wanted to spy on the other room and the hallway, you guys need to make perception checks. Kenzie, now that you're in, what do you want to do?
Kinsey, what's your bonus to your spying attempts?
Oh, give me a second.
You might actually be better at this than I am. I might want to go sit down and enjoy the coffee while you guys do this, because we are stealthing and spying.
Enemies suffer a penalty equal to my character's mental dots to rolls to notice her when she's deliberately spying.
You mind listening at the door?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
I'm gonna go be completely useless in this scene. I'm gonna sit on the bed, wait for somebody to tell me what to do.
Keep an eye out the keep an eye on the window.
By the way,
No, I'm not saying look out the window. Keep an eye on the window.
I do. I'm also gonna go put my face back because we are so fucking rumbled. We are so fucking rumbled. Gonna pay the glamour right now.
Do I get an equipment bonus for having the class?
+1. So
Hey.
give Kenzie and Kit give me perception checks. Do you want to actively be checking out the window or not, Elliot?
I'm gonna be watching the window. I'm paranoid right now because we've just had the entire world go spycraft on us the moment we tried to approach this hotel room. This is wild.
Perception check then for you too.
You got it.
Okay. Okay, so good thing is you don't need the reminder anymore.
Yep. I have erased that from the thing I'm doing. Exceptional success. 6 successes.
4 successes.
All right, in the order.
And
Kenzie.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you go on.
Oh, I think I just missed Kinsey's roll, that's all. We're good.
Kinsey rolled a 1, and that one success is a success. So, Kinsey, you were listening at the door, right?
Yes.
You hear 4 distinct sets of synchronized footsteps stopping at the door next door. Kit. You are listening at the wall, correct?
Yeah.
All right. You hear a knock at the door across the way. There is a knock, a period of silence, another louder knock, another longer period of silence, and then clearly perceptible shouting. Get out here now. You hear hurried footsteps from within the apartment, and you begin to overhear a hushed conversation. Give us the password. It's all Gucci. Identity confirmed. We have reason to believe that the downgrade is in the building. Were you downstairs and within the last 10 minutes? I've been in the jacuzzi all night, darlings. I haven't been downstairs for until past before sundown. In that case, you must come with us. The original is in the building. Our agents have noticed. They're moving. Okay. Give me 10 minutes to pack a bag. You have 3. You hear, then Kit hears frantic footsteps running back into the apartment. Elliot. Looking out the window in a state of paranoia, you notice a gleam from a rooftop nearby. You focus your eyes, and you can make out the light shining off a pair of binoculars.
We need to get out
You're
of
not
here.
sure if it's seen you yet. You're not sure if it's seen you yet.
I know, but I stand up. We have not turned the lights on this area at all. We have had no reason to do so. So we are still moving around inside a darkened hotel room. I'm going to walk carefully over to my counterparts and whisper very quietly into their ears. There's somebody watching from outside of the building. Is there any value to us staying right now? Because I think they're going to figure out we're here.
Of the three of you, elect a sacrifice and make a chance die roll, please.
Have you made one yet tonight, Kenzie? Or are we sticking with Tibbs's luck?
Tibbs, are you still feeling unlucky?
All right, let's do it. Heaven or hell, let's rock. So many crossed fingers.
I want you to know my toes are also crossed, but I'm not putting my feet on the internet.
In the hallway, Kinsey hears the people speaking. Sir, if we believe that the original's in the building, should we be fanning out and securing the nearby rooms? Our agent reported that they got off the elevator on this floor. I believe that it's most likely more important to secure the stairwells. I do not believe that they would have taken refuge in the nearby rooms. So, Johnson, Alvarez, I need you to secure the east and west stairwell. The rest of us are staying here in case he comes by. You're authorized to use force if needed, but keep it quiet. The guns stay in the bag for this one.
Sorry, just making sure I heard that correctly. The what guns?
The guns stay in the bag.
Thank you. Okay. I watched through the keyhole, not the keyhole, the peephole, the little circular glass thing with the fisheye lens in it, as they go past and get as good a look at their faces and how they're dressed as I can. They're probably going to go past the door.
The ones that go by are wearing suits, black suits, black ties, but they each have a handkerchief in their front pocket, black monogrammed in gold, with the logo that says, looks like a golden C, and around it in lettering, Cotton Security.
Question. Do they have anything on them that indicates which one of them is Alvarez?
No, they aren't wearing name tags or anything like that.
Damn, I'm probably gonna waste some glamour. Oh well, I memorized their faces as best I can and the two names that were given for the people to go to the stairwell. I turn to my friends and say, we need to get out of here.
So, first thing I do is cast Cloak of Shadow over all three of us. Do we have rope?
Yes, actually. I believe I did say that Kit always carries rope with him.
Okay.
Where are you going with this?
Well, we've got two options. One, we can tie a rope around the banister of the balcony and work our way down while we're, pretty much unseeable. Or we can open the bathroom door into the hedge.
So about that,
We've got
I
a dude watching the hotel in binoculars across the street. He's gonna notice the rope. But we could let us get across into Elliot's apartment because the guards are on the inside. The issue is if we get rumbled on the way over, that's the problem.
If you guys want to try that, you're going to need to make a dexterity plus stealth roll to climb over unseen.
Actually, you said it was really bright, this hotel, right? This whole thing was
Yes.
lit up
It's
like
lit
a
up like a
Christmas.
Christmas.
If I remember correctly, one of the things our ghost form our friend here can do is disappear into a pool of light just as easily as shadow.
Yes.
Kenzie, I am asking you to put yourself in possibly the most danger I've ever asked you to put yourself. Would you please go raid my hotel room and find whatever information you can before somebody decides to try the door? I'm pretty sure what's-his-fuck is going to be out of the room in any second now, and we're going to hear him leaving, because he seems like a whiner. I should know. I'm a whiner.
Yes. So you said dexterity plus stealth, Kenny?
Yeah. Did you want to cast Cloak of Night like you were saying, or are you just going to use your Kith Blessing for this?
I'm going to cast Cloak of Night on these guys and use my Kith Blessing to get across.
We are not going to keep Cloak of Night once you leave line of sight.
That's
So,
fine. That's
we
fine.
can-
Let them do their thing. They got this.
I'm going to go lie down on the inside portion of the room behind the bed where I can't be seen by any direct line of sight, and I'm going to wait for someone to tell me what to do.
And I'm going to post up by the door with a shotgun pointed about crotch height.
How deeply unpleasant of you.
It's honestly it's a spot where armor gets overlooked a lot of the time.
Fair enough. I'm in no position to judge. I just made you guys walk into a trap.
Okay, so it was dexterity plus stealth, Kenzie. Taking a semi-corporeal form of light definitely helps keep one from being noticed. However, a unnaturally moving ball of light is also something that can be noticed. Luckily, Kenzie's able to keep themselves in line with the hotel's own lights as they go over to Elliot's balcony.
This is, of course, after we've heard Elliot leave.
Yeah, if you want to wait for Elliot to leave, that works just fine. Do you want to do that, or do you want to go over next? Okay. So after Elliot leaves, Kenzie goes over. During the wait time, Kit hears the two agents standing by the door grumbling to each other. One of them asks, "Boss, why do we have to go to this much lengths for a dude who mixes drinks at parties and posts on Instagram?" The other agent simply replies, "Don't worry about it. Our employer says that he's important, and that means he's important." But my gut tells me that he's important for reasons that he wouldn't like to know. So, a few moments later, you hear the frantic footsteps and hear, "Thank you for waiting, darlings. I'm ready to go. Let's get out of here."
Oh my god. I've gotten so fruity since I left. Fair enough, but...
So after the fetch leaves. Kinsey goes into the apartment. This room is just as lavish as the previous one, but it has been entirely redecorated. There is a very thick shag carpet on the floor, along with several interesting paintings and photographs of Elliot on the wall in various positions. Covers, magazine covers, things like that. One left that appears to be nude and wrapped in a bearskin, etc. There is a wall that appears to be dedicated entirely to press releases, accolades, and still shots from TV appearances. So what are you going to be doing in here?
Elliot, what am I doing in here?
You are finding out everything you can about the individual in here. I was thinking a investigation check, see if we can find out anything about what's going on, who these people are, what Elliot's up to, maybe where we might be able to find him, where he isn't under nightmare security. This man packed a bag in 4 minutes. There's going to be lots of clues left behind as to what's going on with him. Anything we can get in 5 minutes will give us a leg up on future efforts. And
personal photos might be like non-press release photos, like things that like
maybe he left his phone behind. He lost his fucking hotel key 3 times this month, apparently.
2 successes on a Wits Plus investigation roll.
All right. Kinsey gives the apartment the once over. So, first things first. Now that you've looked past the glitz and the glamour and the decor, this room is messy. There are clothes all over the floor. There is a pizza box floating in the jacuzzi. While it doesn't look like the fetch forgot their phone, they did leave behind a stack of envelopes and what looks like a closed laptop. Looking through the envelopes, these seem to be bank statements. Interestingly enough, it looks like this version of Elliot only has a couple $100 in their account.
Really?
The laptop is fingerprint locked.
Of course. I'm a lazy son of a bitch. It makes sense.
These things are so easy to get past.
Unfortunately, none of us are good at computers.
I take a picture of the statement. And I flip over the laptop and take out the CMOS battery real quick and put it back in.
Right, well, I am in real life not that good at computer. What does that do?
It should reset the password requirement.
Okay, sounds like a good idea. Give me a Wits Plus computer check, please. I'm sorry, but I'm not letting you take out the CMOS battery without a computer check.
I'm using a willpower for this.
All right. Familiarity with breaking into people's electronics has paid off. Kinsey is able to take out and put the CMOS battery in. and reset the password requirements for the laptop. After taking the pictures of the bank statements, of which there are 6 months worth.
So, could you do me a small favor? Open up the email account, send a message from that email account to our dear friend Hacker Boy. Christ, what was his name? The guy who stole my phone.
Gizmo?
Gizmo. I know his email. We've talked to him several times. We know how to get in touch with him. If he knows who to look at, he can probably poke around back at this thing, and we can delete the message out of the sent items after it's gone.
That sounds good.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and send an email to Gizmo. What are you going to ask him to do? Kenzie?
Oh man. Subscribe now. Click on my YouTube. Here's my YouTube link.
We'll get in touch with him later.
Okay. And also, Kenzie, make me a chance die roll, please.
Seven.
It hears a set of footsteps heading back down the hallway. Clearing the apartment to make sure there are no, the original did not come in after the package left. Breaching in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The door opens after the key card is used. Kenzie, you are still under the effect of your Kith blessing. So you are not visible right away. However, this is going to trigger an opposed roll.
I'd like to hide in the lampshade.
Okay. Give me dexterity plus subterfuge.
Damn!
From the
Nice.
and 3 successes. From the comfort of the lampshade, Kenzie's incorporeal form watches as another person in the black suit of cotton security enters the room. This one is likewise carrying a briefcase. After he closes the door, he gives a quick once-over before opening the briefcase and taking out what looks to be a silenced 9mm pistol. Carrying it at the ready, he gives a once-over to the rooms, going through them one each at a time. You can see him talking into his shirt cuff. He tells whoever he's talking to on the other side of the comm that by room, that each one is clear. After he's done, he gives the room that you're in a second look, but doesn't appear to notice you. He goes back towards the door and speaks into his sleeve again. Room secure. Has the original been seen leaving, or either of his 2 companions? After a few moments and what appears to be the sounds of buzzing and crackling on the other end. Understood. Original not seen to leave the building. Package secured. we're going to, what orders are next? Kenzie can just barely make out withdraw. We're leaving basic security in place. The agent speaks into his sleeve again and says, affirmative, before putting his gun back in his case and leaving the room.
Come home, Lexi. Sorry, come home, Kenzie. Get back here.
Yeah, I sneak back out the window and across the balconies, and we are, once I'm back on the other balcony, I transform back into the shadow shade thing and blend into the shadows instead of the lights to go into the darkened room.
Alrighty. So you are back together again.
And what is the window what is the doorway inside this room that is least visible from the outside, knowing I know where the observer is?
That would probably be the shower door inside the bathroom.
I go open the shower door in a particularly weird fashion that involves spending a glamour.
Nope. I do it.
All right. So one of you opens it as a hedge gate, opens the shower door as a hedge gate.
So I'm set up so that if I open a hedge gate, I don't ping any Fey radars.
Oh, better for you to do it. You do that. Fadar. So we're gonna go in through that door and close it behind us. I will spend the glamour to close it.
All right. The motley evacuates into the hedge through the shower. Standing on a trod in the midst of the glass thorns, the door is closed.
Ah! So I guess the first question I have is anything immediately threatening me here?
No. Whatever the threat was, it appears to have been mainly mortal.
Okay.
So go on.
That just got a lot more complicated.
I sent an email to Gizmo from his account and deleted it.
I text Gizmo and say, hey, you got a weird email a couple of minutes ago. If you can get back into the computer that sent that, I will pay you, provide you whatever information I can, do whatever favor you need from me. I need to know everything about the man who owns that computer.
You receive an email back very quickly. Money and favors? I'm in. Along with a GIF of a cartoon character with $ eyeballs.
Let me know your price once you've got the stuff and we'll negotiate. Do what you can. That's my fetch.
You get sent back a thumbs up emoji along with the simple line, then rates doubled.
Fair enough. I don't respond. I respond with a thumbs up emoji of my own, like the kids these days are doing it, and I turn back to the others. So let's just make sure I understand what I saw. The moment anybody who looked slightly off from the original showed up, the entire fucking hotel turned into a goddamn zoo. A huge corporate security firm showed up did you see what they had? Those briefcases looked heavy. Like weapon heavy.
And 9mm at least.
Did you see the name of the company?
Cotton Security, huh?
Yeah, okay. This got complicated.
I hate to say this, but I really hope that you weren't planning on working out equitable terms with your other relative. Because I really don't like what we dealt with tonight, and I would feel very good about doing him some ineffable harm.
Good word use. No. I don't want to just end him. I want to destroy everything he's built.
Sounds like a great plan. It looks like we're going to have plenty of people motivated to help us once we figure out all their names. Thank you, Kenzie, for putting yourself at risk.
Are you kidding me? That's the most fun I've had in days.
I
I
mean,
feel as high as Delilah was.
so that leaves us one problem. Where the hell are we?
Everybody,
Yes.
everybody make me a chance die roll.
Oh. Whoa! Holy shit!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
151 for those playing at home. We could not reasonably have expected to do worse on this chance die roll. I expect we are in trouble. I don't like that smile that Kenny's getting right now. That is deeply distressing.
This is not good.
So,
So much fear put into one little die.
Yep, that's why Kenny does chance dice. Also to make it our fault. So we got, out of character, we got 30 minutes. We need to get home safe and ideally not get chased by anything that was on the other side of this door, but I think those were mundanes mostly. So
Agreed.
I don't think we're expecting company. I don't know if people were able to hear me knocking on wood over that mic.
All right. As your conversation ends, you hear a loud rumbling voice from behind you. Hellos, gents and or lady. You's on my tribe. I's gonna need toll. You turn around and look up into the towering face of a troll, grinning at you, mouth full of fangs wide open, one hand gripping a club roughly the size of Kit, and the other hand out in the universal gesture for "give me."
What's
What
the
would
toll?
you like as a toll?
The troll looks around. Oh, 100 chips each sounds fair.
Okay.
The troll looks incredibly taken aback when that would be you've got 5 dots of Fey resources. This would be a 2-dot expenditure. He simply blinks his eyes at the chips in his hands and says, "Oh, it's been a long time since anyone could just pay toll. Go on use ways."
Question for you. Sounds like you're having trouble making the kind of money that you're expecting to make out here.
Yeah, usually I's gots to bash 'em over the head and steals their stuff. Of course, also gets meal out of it.
Would you like a steadier form of employment?
I's listening. Use talk.
I turned to Kit. You know, we've been talking about needing a little hired muscle around the place.
Yeah. Have you done much work around animals but not like violent kind of work with animals?
The troll frowns. Sometimes Eyes pets them weird cows.
Perfect.
All right. So I got a bit of a place that I need some good strong hands to tend to those cows. I
Maybe
think it'd
help
be
us
perfect.
transport meat into market without worrying about people asking for it on the way.
Yeah.
What's pays?
We can negotiate that. I don't think right now is a good time for that, though.
Eyes like you, funny rabbit man. We's goins then, huh, boss?
Sounds good.
The troll shows you down his trod and onto the hedge, following along in the hedge placidly behind you.
Well, I guess we still need to do some hedge navigation because we still gotta get home, even if we've dealt with any threats on the way. Because I doubt anyone's gonna go ask to fuck with us when we've got a troll with a club the size of us wandering behind us.
All right, so we know the terms of the chase. You know
Kenzie, I think you're better
where
at
you're going.
navigating the hedge than I am. Would you mind leading? Because we got nothing guiding us now.
Yeah.
You're off in the wilderness. You're on a trod kept by a trod troll. You're going to need 10 successes to get back to the house. The warren, the burrow, whatever it is.
Okay, so I never remember. Is there a standard roll for that?
Hedge navigation.
Yeah, and I have hedge sense, so it's +2. So
Page 200.
There's the chase. Done.
All right. Okay.
I'm not really seeing any.
Bear with me.
See any?
Yeah, it's not a specific roll. So I'm going to say wits plus survival.
Unless you got something else to sell. Maybe a cult if you're better at it.
yeah, I would like to argue a cult with my specialization in portals from getting from one part to another.
Yeah, sure.
Can I assist?
If you wish.
5 successes to help you out on that.
Give me a second. It's not going to be much because I can't. This is so not mundane. But, dice are dice. I do not help you.
Enjoy your +0 from Elliot.
Elliot has also found a lovely mushroom to look at. As a matter of fact, with that many successes, I think it might be the same mushroom, which means I know exactly where we are.
And the hedge gets 1 success.
Right.
So you've still got the edge here with 8 successes total. So let's the hedge roll again. See if it can take the edge. And it cannot. You're still on the trod looking for familiar territory. And mushroom is looking awful familiar.
Brings us to 12.
All right. Once the location has been established by finding that very familiar mushroom, you're able to head back to the warren without much additional trouble.
Mushroom of extreme familiarity. +2, +2. Well, I don't think there's much else to do with the evening.
I introduced the troll to all of the hobs and cats in our hollow and instruct him that they are not under any circumstances to be hurt.
Yep.
The troll nods and says, "Use pay. You get what you pay for."
Okay.
The troll tells you his name is Bentley.
Okay.
Good to have you on board, Bentley.
Bentley nods. Baze calls me Bentley because I bend people.
I like you, Bentley. I think we're going to be good friends. With that, I think it's time to go into the mechanical ending of our stuff, unless there's anything else you want to talk about, Kenny.
No, I think we're good. So I guess that ends us out for the night. Let's go around the table and do our aspirations.
Whew. So, my first aspiration of tonight, find myself. I sure as shit did! Holy shit, did I find myself this evening? Oh my god. And I talked to the Jack Ketch. We had a long, elaborate conversation. We got a lot of information. And I'm sure we're going to have plenty more to talk about next time we run into each other. Oh my god. Passed the exam for a bar. I wasn't able to make any real headway on getting $1 million because it turns out the thing that I thought I was working on for that, the me has about $100 in change in his bank account. He's not going to be able to sort that out. So unless you're feeling generous, I don't think I get that XP.
I mean, eliminating an option, I would say, is progress.
Well, he did have a lot of expensive stuff.
Fair
There's
enough.
that too.
So there might be a way there. Restore the rest of Mimsatch. I gave him another piece of his body this week. He's got his kith back. And probably his goblin debt's getting pretty low with him having gotten market sense a while back. So hopefully that'll start helping him out too. And lastly, play Kingmaker. We made some efforts on pursuing the various candidates and started working on seeing if we can talk DeSoto into voting the way we want to.
Yep. Okay, who wants to go next?
I will. I didn't take any steps towards becoming a winter knight. I did take a... Go ahead.
The thing you have to do to become a winter knight is get what's her name out of the running for queen. You were
specifically the one who talked to Mario DeSoto.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll take a step there. Taking a step towards crowning a spring monarch for the same reason.
Yep.
I have cared for a stray. I definitely think that climbing over a balcony in a heavily armed hotel counts as helping a friend.
Yep.
And I did take a step towards finding Moggins.
Well, yeah, you guys know where he is now.
Okay.
All right. So first thing I have is stop the rattling. I'd like to argue that Jeff's efforts, or Elliot's efforts regarding the icons have helped help us make progress on that one.
We know more about him and what he's doing.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Then find my fetch. I am definitely learning a lot about my fetch tonight, and that's definitely helping me deal with that situation. I don't think I made any progress on finding a solution to the huntsman.
Yes, you did, actually. The huntsmen were connected to the cult that you just spent a fair bit of resources setting up a trap at.
Oh, okay.
They did mention
interfering with their
specifically.
efforts.
Okay. And coming in clutch at the end there, I now have a caravan guard to help regarding the Milo enterprise. So the point towards feeding the people.
Alrighty. So everyone also take 2 bonus beats for today.
Thank you.
Alrighty. And as we're closing out here, just another couple quick reminders. Remember Onyx PathCon, June 16th through 18th. More information here if you want to run in or play in or run a game. And also, again, don't forget the Kickstarter for They Came from the RPG Anthology. All of that said, I appreciate so much all of you guys coming out to watch us tonight. I always appreciate it. Thanks again for coming out, and I hope that you guys all have a good night.
And for those out in YouTube land, we're looking forward to you seeing this too. Bye.
Bye.